All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You guys know we always do the introductory talking just to make sure the stream is working. It is. So we'll go ahead and say what's up to everybody. Welcome back. I'll probably say this more than once because I'm pretty sure that you guys, are not in the stream yet. So we'll just sit here for just a quick moment, just ramble a little bit. For you guys who are here already, I'm still trying to find a way, man. I don't know if we ever will, but I'm trying to find a way for us to get back on camera with you guys. Running into trouble, man, because after doing some extensive research, I think I mentioned this on the last show we did, that the desktop applications are not working in OBS. Things like Skype, and that's basically how I'm able to get me and Smitty both on camera into the stream, as I was using Skype. Skype no longer shows up in OBS. It's just a black screen, and I did some research, and it said a lot of desktop apps don't really work for camera stuff now. So I might try XSplit. I do have XSplit. I have the free version, and I haven't got a chance to looking into that yet, so I might check that out. I know Smitty is familiar with it, so maybe he can let me know whether or not he's tried to mirror Skype and get a camera in there. If that works, then we'll try to get back to you guys, camera-wise. Because for whatever reason, you guys like to see us, and I know it's, we always talk about immersion, Smitty, when it comes to sports games. I guess the stream is immersive too if people are able to see us again instead of just listen to us. But anyway. Welcome, guys, man. I hope everybody had a great week as far as, last week as well. I hope everybody's 4th of July went off the way you wanted it. I hope everybody's safe. I hope no one had any firework incidents, anything like that. And Smitty and I will definitely jump right into this, man. There's no real introductions for us to give you guys tonight as far as teams or anything like that. Obviously, it's not football season. So we'll dive right into it. Y'all know I have a hard stop at 10 o'clock. So 10 o'clock is always the maximum time, but if we finish before then, we just finish before then. So all right, man, just to give you guys a quick heads up, what we really want to cover tonight, and we kind of uncovered this tonight, earlier today when Smitty was streaming. I hope you guys, man, who are able to watch streams during the day, I hope you're checking out Smitty during the day, man. He streams a lot. He did a lot of the NBA 2K stuff today, went all the way back to 2K14. And made a lot of us remember how good that game actually looked. And it's actually regressed since then. Again, no huge knock on 2K, but, Smitty elaborated in the stream as to why he thinks they did that. Probably, it probably is because of more stuff they added. Some of the resources had to get pulled or what have you. But anyway, the topics that we came up with, man, was we want to talk about what should and shouldn't happen before the launch of Madden 20, and then we'll throw out some live 20 expectations, some must-haves for this year's game. Because again, if you watch Smitty stream today, it's very clear to see, man. Even if you don't play 2K, it's very clear to see why 2K is a lot of times most people's go-to. It has its problems, of course, but the game is just so far ahead of live, and you can only allow a company to play catch up for so long before you're just like, okay. So this is a very important year for live. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. I'll ask Smitty, which one, Smitty, you want to attack first? You want to jump right into the live stuff, or we want to talk about the Madden stuff?
Shoot, we could jump into the live stuff, since I know the bigger fish is, especially at this point, is Madden. Yeah. So looking at the questions and looking out, want to hear more about details about franchise stuff, which we don't have additional details on. So we don't have like some inside info to share. So basically, whatever it is that you guys find out whether EA puts it out or once the EA access is out or whatever, that's when you'll find out about it. So we'll all find out pretty much at the same time. So that's pretty much it with that. But as far as NBA Live, look, Live 20, I've said, people that have peeped it and everything like that, I've done periscopes and stuff like that, talking about Live and saying how it needs to slap and it needs to be all these different things. And the key thing here, just like what I shown today when I was streaming. I mean, I wasn't showing live necessarily, but what it needs to basically do is it needs to feel like essentially grassroots basketball. It needs to go back to the way they had it before Synergy. Or I don't know if Synergy was powering it or whatever system they were using before. But whatever it was they were using in Live '09 and Live 10, they need to go back to that. That's exactly what they need to go back to. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, I got my little one calling my name. Hmm. No, you got to ask mommy, okay? Okay. All right, thank you, sweetie. So, so no, but what you're gonna have to do is, I mean, what they need to do is they need to have a game where it feels unique to basketball from everyone across the board, from the least utilized player to the biggest superstar in the NBA. That's what NBA Live 10 gave you. Even though, yeah, did it have all the animations in the world? No, it didn't. But at the same time, it replicated everybody. Like, you had player tendencies, you had even sliders that you can customize. So if you even created a player,
Daddy,
sweetie,
Mommy said you need to pay me a bath.
mommy's gonna have to do
it. Y'all know how it is with kids, guys. We'll let Smitty get back here in a moment once he's ready. Okay, looks like he's
right, so
yeah, there he is. He's ready to go.
What I was saying was that when you have sliders to basically showcase and what the different player types are. So even if you were to create players, let's say if you created a draft class or whatever, you can generate the tendencies in terms of how those players are, not just with ratings, but you can also do it with their tendencies, like what those players do. If you're watching college hoops and you see that, it's literally what you can do in the game. What are they capable of, and then you bring them to that NBA level, and you're gonna have characters on the court that are all going to play and feel different respectively. And then you also have the team scheme itself, and also coaches. What about coach tendencies? What about how they manage the game and everything like that? So those are all things that are needed, and they are all necessary in the game. We don't have that now. You know what I mean? Like, the way that NBA Live is at this point, it pretty much only reflects um it only reflects just core ratings, and that's it. No real tendencies. That's why I said that NBA Live right now only replicates the one, and that's literally it. It's made for you to create your player, because think about it. When you create your player, they don't have any it's your created player. So there's no NBA replication behind it. There's no tendencies to look at. There's no, there's no basketball IQ. There's nothing tangible for your player to be truly attached to the game in that capacity. And the way the game is, that's why everybody in the game pretty much feels the same, for the exception of like superstar players and stars respectively. They all feel the same. They all play pretty much the same. That's not how it necessarily should be at this point. You know what I'm saying? Especially at this point. Like, they've been making NBA Live since calendar year 2013. At this point, the game should be much further along in comparison to where it's at right now. You know what I'm saying? And like, until EA does something along that line where you can really start to differentiate players across the board, it's still going to be that same kind of experience regardless of what they add. But outside of that whole rating paradigm, they also have to, it needs to be organic. We've said this numerous times, and even what Sim was saying before, when when we talk about live, it is a redundant convo to a degree because we made these points in the past, but this is stuff just to reiterate as well because it's extremely important. Having specific animations that make players feel different and it not being fully attached or reliant upon a two-man animation is a huge deal. Live 18 and 19 are heavily reliant on two-man animations. That's why when you see people dribble in the open court or they're on their own customized court and they're dribbling, yes, the player movement looks beautiful. The dribble animations look beautiful. The way you're able to seamlessly tie together moves and all that, it all looks very beautiful. But the problem is, outside of all those moves that are chained together, throw a defender in front of them, and now the whole game changes. All those moves, all that fluidity, all that stuff, it goes straight out the window. And now it's all about two-man animations running rampant all over the place. Two-man animals to see if you make the shot or if it gets blocked. Two-man animals that force you to go a particular direction or force you to pick up the dribble or force you to do this. Force. There's a whole bunch of forcing and force scripting. And that's stuff that we've always talked about in regards to Madden. We've had that kind of problem for the longest time. And okay, all right. So if NBA Live is going to stay, if NBA Live is going to stay on that route, then hey, there ain't really going to be much hope for it. You know what I'm saying? As far as Live 20 is concerned, but that's what my hope is that they actually do make this game be uniquely diverse and add the plethora of animations to it as well to help make players feel different. Because they have to start with the core first before they could go and really make the game pop like what you see in the NBA 2K and everything like that. And I see Willie, Willie's anxious and everything like that. But, it's all good, man. If you got some early copies of Madden or whatever like that, man, I'd appreciate that. Slide one over here real quick, you know what I'm saying, while you playing. Talking about get on Madden. You got something to cover? Like, heck, I would love to hear it, but no, but I'm just saying. We need the game to have depth, man, because we always give 2K all the props for it, and rightfully so. The game delivers it. So,
whoa,
what up?
Is that true?
What?
Russell Westbrook got traded. Him and Chris Paul. Oh, I gotta look at that.
They're saying sources about it right now. So
since we talking basketball, wow. I don't see anything official yet, but that don't mean it didn't happen.
Now, I said on the ESPN site, says they agreed to trade Russell Westbrook to the Houston Rockets for Chris Paul, first-round picks in 2024 and 26, and pick swaps in 2021 and 25.
Oh, yeah, your boy Woj put it out there, so...
Yeah, Woj put it out, so that's pretty...
Wow.
Safe to...
See, man, now I gotta go back in. See, I'm glad I only showed y'all one game of my new roster thing that I'm doing with 2K. Now I gotta start it over. I should have waited for that anyway. But anyway, I'm just having a little fun with that. Yeah, okay. I definitely gotta implement that and see what Russell looking like over there. As soon as those guys update the roster, they probably will do it tonight. Wow. Okay. All right.
Nice.
Interesting.
Okay. Cool. Well, that's. Oh, okay. All right. Interesting. Okay, so. That's a nice. Well, oh, all right. Well, I don't know what the Rockets. I don't know how that's gonna work. But at the same time,
Harden and Westbrook.
Deal. Yeah, Harden and Westbrook. The type of players those are two ball dominant scorers.
Oh, right, wow! I didn't even think about that. It just hit me.
They're the same kind of player. So that's what I'm like. I don't know how that's gonna work.
Matter of fact, have we not have we already forgotten that those two dudes was in competition for MVP? What, just a year ago? Not this year, but the year before.
Yeah.
Because of how ball dominant they were with the triple doubles and all of that. Oh my God, that might be a disaster, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
This late in their career, I mean, come on. You're not gonna teach these dudes how to play different. Their instincts are gonna take over. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So that's gonna be okay. Yeah, that's gonna wow.
See, folks, that's why we talk about other things than just Madden. See,
that's
we started talking basketball and we got some real life basketball news right there. See there?
That's a good move. Yeah, Romel hit it on the head. He said headline will read, "Houston, we have a problem." That's literally what it's gonna be. Look, they will be regular. I bet they will be regular season champions. They will look great during the regular season, but as soon as the playoffs come about, it's a wrap. Because this is not I don't think this is the full details of the trade that Woj put out, but there may be a player involved or something like that outside of just picks. I mean, that's amazing if they literally just gave up Chris Paul and they just gave up picks. And that's literally all they did. That'd be phenomenal if that's all it is. But I believe that, I don't know, maybe there's more to it than that, but if that's all they gave up and they just made that player, I mean, this doesn't catapult them any further because the Lakers are a much more stacked out roster from top to bottom with more composed pieces that will buy in. Same thing with the Clips. Pretty much same thing with everybody else in the West. But with the Warriors basically being down right now, that can help them out a little bit because you're not going to have Clay back until basically March, and who knows at what capacity he'll be good for. And then you got just Draymond and what's his name? Draymond and Steph running it over there. So,
man, basketball season is going to be very, very. It's going to be very enjoyable this year, man, to watch, because although I will say it was kind of cool, seeing the Warriors dominate for as long as they did, then it got tired. But it was kind of cool just to see how crazy of a team that was. And I'm so glad, man, that, and I kind of knew this was going to be the case, but I'm so glad that Kawhi stuck to his guns and he didn't team up. Man, like him and Paul George being in LA, LeBron and AD being in LA, they in the same building. It's just gonna be a lot centered around these teams now. I mean, whether it's a good or bad thing, we're gonna want to see what the Rockets do. We're gonna want to see that with a guy like Westbrook and a Harden together. We're gonna want to see a whole lot of different things. As a Sixer fan, I'm definitely gonna want to see, can they try to be a dominant team in the East, even though they didn't really do too much, and you still got the Bucks sitting right there. I mean, it's a lot of decent little teams right there. What would Kyrie be able to do with the Nets? While KD is down, it's a lot of entertaining things to look at now in this NBA instead of it being. Instead of us automatically knowing right out the gate, oh, well, they're going to go to the finals. Oh, that team is going to win it. And it all started, man, all the way back when, when it was the Cavs. When the Cavs were finally turned into the Cavs, with LeBron and Kyrie and Love and et cetera, and then they were going head-to-head with the Warriors. I was so sick of that. Was so sick of the predetermining who was going to be where and what. And now it's going to be very, very interesting. Very, very interesting, man, in the NBA. And like Smitty alluded to, man, maybe this is not it. Maybe there's going to be more that we just don't know that will be uncovered. So while we're on the top of the basketball, man, I'll just give my really, really quick thoughts on the live stuff as well, and then we'll dive into Madden. I know that's what you guys are here for. But just my 2 cents on it, man. I mean, it's almost, I won't say redundant, but it's almost like Smitty and I, we both know what we're both going to say about what live needs. It's so far behind, man. It's getting to the point where I'm almost like, look, are y'all either just going to cater to just being, focusing on the one and, realizing that, maybe your bread and butter is just going to be, listen, we have a game that's fun to play that you can grind and you can do live run and, you can be in the one league and all of that. And they don't really focus on the base. I don't know. Because they're so far behind 2K at this point. Remember, guys, Smitty and I was saying this stuff, and even guys like VF, was saying back in Live 14, yeah, we know it's rough, but it's good to see them back. If they stay on the same path, da-da-da-da-da. OG was still there. It was promising things. It was looking promising, like, oh, they got the right people in place. OG leaves, goes to 2K. We know the reasons why he left.
Yeah.
Without saying so much, it's very similar to what y'all heard Mike Wang say.
Yeah. And
look at what 2K has turned into be, and Live is still pedaling behind.
Far behind.
Super far behind. And what scares me, Smitty, and it almost makes me cringe to say this because, again, the guys on the staff know how I feel about them, both Live and Madden, but I can't help but to keep going with my narrative of Tiburon. I just don't know. You know what I mean? Like, think about it. When Longshot came into Madden, right, that year, what was it, 18? Yeah, because 19 was the last one to have, that was Longshot 2.
18 was Longshot.
Yeah, so 18. And what was we told? And what did we tell y'all? A lot of the franchise guys over there helping out to get Longshot up to speed. John White and all these other guys that normally would be working on Madden's franchise, they over there helping out Live, trying to get them up. And you even heard Rex say, we're basically trying to parallel the two so they can build together. So we kind of guessed that it was going to be a copy-paste situation. We were hoping for better. And then I remember Smitty and I both said it bet not be better than Madden, because then we would be pissed off again at Madden for not, implementing anything new. All right, so what happened? It was exactly what we thought. Copy and paste. What happened in 19? No real changes. And it looks like, again, Tiburon, and shout-outs, man, really quick to Smooth and Kendall McClendon earlier for the donation. Round of applause, guys. And real quick, Longshot is not the problem at this point. Longshot will not even be in Madden 20. Again, you guys have to pay attention to the things that we say every year. And you know what? It's just a sidebar. I will hold this for when we get to Madden. But it's something that I'm going to say on the show that I'm getting to the point where I'm just not going to say much no more. I think we've laid everything out on the line. And I'm tired of having to regurgitate the same points for the same questions. And I just feel like some of you guys you're just not taking it. So I'm just going to fall back like I did today in Smitty's stream. Like, all right, man, like, there's no need for me to keep going back and forth. You feel one way, we feel another, and we actually have more facts to back it. It is what it is. Agree to disagree, and there you have it. No hard feelings. But I'm just going to start taking more of that approach. And like I said, I'll dive a little more into that when we get to the Madden side. But back to NBA Live, man, we see that it's progressing along at the same rate that Madden is. And to me, if that ain't living proof that something's going on at Tiburon versus EA Canada, I don't know what is. All of these other games are flourishing, and like Smitty said today in his stream, we don't know hockey like that. We don't know what's missing from the game of hockey. I'm sure there's things that the NHL crowd hates. Same with FIFA. We've actually talked to some top FIFA guys, and they've told us certain things where they compared PES, and they felt like PES was more of a simulation soccer, right? We're just looking at these things, most of us here tonight, Smitty and I, and you guys in the chat, when we look at those games and we say, why can't Madden do this? Why can't Madden do that? we're comparing those games to the features that they have or the gameplay that they produce that Madden doesn't. So I just want people to understand that in case you first time listening to us, we're never saying that NHL is perfect or FIFA. We're merely just comparing the things that we would love to see in the football product that those games are doing, both gameplay-wise and feature-wise. So that's all we're referring to. But again, why is it that EA Canada, you see what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure if all of us was hockey and FIFA fans, we would be able to tolerate our game more so than we've been able to tolerate Madden because it has more in-depth features. Of course, we might have gameplay issues, but you know what I mean.
The one thing though that I'll just tag on though, as far as FIFA, at least I don't know how it is with development with NHL, but FIFA is developed across 3 EA studios, not just one. So that's why I think part of the problem is with Madden.
Yeah,
I think that they could do a lot more if they had multiple studios, but I don't know what it is with the NFL or whatever it is that they're not able to get access of. But just like you hear A-Dub talk about at times, you hear him talk about coaches and stuff like that he talks to, and they come to the studio and all that. They need to have, I don't know if they need more access along with having more hands on deck. Like, I think it's both. You know what I'm saying? They need more hands on deck, but they also need to have more access too. So that way they could do a lot more across the board with the game, because that's why FIFA is able to give so much every single year in their game. You know what I'm saying? Like all those teams across the globe, all those different leagues and divisions that they're able to replicate, you know what I'm saying? It would be, I mean, I could only imagine how FIFA would be if it was only one studio working on it. So, but yeah, there's an issue definitely happening with Tiburon, and they're getting they keep getting the short end of the stick.
Yeah,
that's very clear.
Very clear.
It's not that they're not talented enough. So let's make that, we've made that point abundantly clear. There are plenty of things these guys have said that they would love to do it with Madden that I ain't seen nobody talk about. Nobody anywhere talk about.
None.
So that's not even the issue. So if they're not being greenlit to do things or whatever, or something like that, like there's nothing we can do about that. But if we're telling you guys, like, hey, look, it ain't them. You know, it's not the dev team that's the issue here. That's all there is to it. So.
And also, man, you know, and then I'll finish up the point about live, and then we'll just jump right into Madden. But just to comment really quick, man, on what Patrick McLaughlin is saying. He says, bottom line, there's no other football game to push Madden to innovate or fix quickly. But see, this is just where my headspace is at. I don't use any of that as an excuse or an acceptable one. And the reason why, what other baseball game on the market?
Exactly. What about hockey?
Yeah, what other hockey game is on the market? So my point is, and I'm not, beefing with you, Patrick. What I'm saying is, I look at EA and say, dog, I don't want to hear that. I'm not going to accept the fact that y'all are just going to lay back on your loyals. And no, we're not doing this. We're going to keep pounding the table and keep trying to be as loud as we can, whether we break through or not. The least we can do as consumers and gamers is keep screaming. And hopefully maybe one day somebody will say, you know what, man, they're not going to let us get away with this much longer. I'm not going to accept that. And to me, that's too easy. The two easiest excuses that a lot of us try to throw out there. There's no competition. It's mutt. No. We should not be accepting that. Period. You know what I'm saying? And I agree with you, Patrick. I know you're not saying that. I'm just saying I honestly don't believe that is the case, because there's proof elsewhere in EA Sports and outside of EA Sports with other games that it's the same situation and those games are flourishing. So it's crazy. But just really quick, man, as far as live, I'm just gonna say I just don't know, man. I don't think It's going to take extremely too long for it to even catch up to all of what 2K offers. And, you know, Live 20 to me is very important for their existence. It's getting to the point, man, where I think it's a waste of money, company money, because they're not selling. You know, I think the reason why they can actually still produce NBA Live is because of the fact that they have money coming in elsewhere, and maybe it's not the hit is not affecting them that much in the pocket because they got other money floating around. You know, but clearly that game is not profitable. I hate to see it go away because I don't want to just have only a Madden situation where there's only one company making a basketball game. I would hate for it to get to a point where San Diego Studios makes basketball, 2K Sports makes, San Diego Studios makes baseball, 2K Sports makes basketball, and Madden makes NFL football. I don't want that. I really don't want another Madden situation just because I want options. It's not to say that 2K doesn't do a good job. They do. But I want options. I want to be able to do like I do now and actually enjoy. Oh, you know what? I kind of enjoy the one. I like the created player in Live for whatever reason. A little more than I do in 2K. And I don't think it has nothing to do with which one is better. I just like the feel of it in Live. Whereas I play my franchise in 2K. My league is that's probably my all-time favorite franchise mode of all time is my league. Love it to death. So for my 5-on-5 experience, I want 2K. Whenever I decide to play, you know, on the park or live run or whatever like that, I play live. See what I'm saying? So I want options, man, and I would love for football to be the same way. But yeah, that's just my quick piece, man, on Live. I just think my expectations are that game has to take a serious leap in some area. Whether that be full-blown immersion with depth or that be gameplay. One of the areas of Live has to take a leap. If it doesn't, night Live. Because at this point, you just give it up, man. You know, and again, I hate to say that, not just because of the competition aspect, it's because I know people that work there. I hate to see people lose jobs and things like that. My homeboy K Spade is on the roster now. You know, so I definitely don't want anything like that. I'm just speaking from a company standpoint, man. Y'all know things are cutthroat out here in the corporate world. So there you have it, man. So let's move on to what you guys really want to talk about, huh? Y'all always want us to go into Madden, man. Can't ever expand. So I will kick it off real quick. Smitty stepped away for just a moment, so I will quick kick it off, and then we'll bring Smitty in. Actually, before I dive into it, because I know Smitty probably wants to comment or at least hear what my thoughts. Let me look at a few of the comments here really quick, man, just to give Smitty a little bit of time. One of you guys asked, do I think there will ever be another fight night? And somebody also said, what happened to fight night? Man, I really hope so. I saw one of you guys actually say that you thought Fight Night was the best EA game. Now, here's the funny thing. I didn't think that. I loved Fight Night. Listen, most of you guys will know I'm an extreme boxing fan. I mean, like, I consider myself a boxing purist. You know, I was raised on football and boxing. So y'all know how detail-oriented I am and how involved I am with fights. And I had a super duper long laundry list of things that Fight Night never did or needed to do, or if it ever comes back, believe you me, y'all gonna see me giving them as much feedback as possible, because that game never reached the potential of where a fight game should be. It never respected the true sweet science of boxing. So y'all think of course it would be equally, my insaneness for simulation would be equal for football and boxing, but you guys would see a new me in terms of, whoa, I didn't know that dude was into boxing like that in terms of simulation, because that game definitely did not have it. There's so much more that needs to be done there. And I think, man, what may have happened to it is probably just, the popularity of boxing. Again, we're talking about companies. We're talking about corporate companies that they're in the business of making money. Which is the same reason, again, why y'all never hear me complain or beef at EA Sports, particularly Madden, for having MUT. Why wouldn't they? Every company wants to make money. My only beef, though, is that I don't want that to be your sole purpose and sole focus, because every other sports game has a variation of Ultimate Team. So, you miss me with the whole, well, we're doing this, so we can't. Nah. Have your MUT, make your money. Happy for you. Just produce a solid product that we can all be happy about. The MUT crowd and the simulation crowd. Let's see. So, Madden 20. I'll go ahead and get started, man. Madden 20 before launch. What needs to happen? What should and shouldn't happen? Primary concern number one, only because we've seen this happen for 2 consecutive years now, maybe even 3. But I know for sure 2 consecutive years. A beta has come out. Those of us that are fortunate enough to have played the beta, and we have decent thoughts about it. Shout outs to my guy DSK. I don't know if he's here tonight, but he'll probably hear the replay if he's not. He went as far as saying that before launch, I think he said the beta for 19 or 18, I think 19, was one of the best he'd ever seen. And then the game launches, people get to crying, patches come out, and before you know it, we're still back to square one where we're looking at the game like, what happened? You talk about Madden 18. I think it was 18, because, I didn't go to EA Play last year. So Madden 18, we all talking about how tight the defense was. And everybody feeling good about it. Even the competitive guys. And y'all know the story. I go down there for a capture event right before the game launches. And it's brought to my attention that the zones are completely broken. Right? I walk in that building, and shout outs to my guys like Zan. You guys know Zan, and iMaverick, my boy iMav. I walk in there, and my guy Lights Out. And there was a lot of dudes there, man, that was giving me the skinny on what was going on. And we stood up in that room, and we all said, "What did y'all do? What y'all do?" And to be honest, man, the devs was put between a rock and a hard place, because the truth of the matter is, yes, there was a few bugs that was in the game, but the bug was not nearly not nearly the reason for the game playing like that. Let me give you a perfect example. The bug, basically, from my understanding, was just allowing everybody to play really, really good. I'm going to just use this as an example. I don't know if this is exactly 100% true, but this is just to give you guys an example that you would understand. So, in that game, you had all of the tier levels and all that. Once you get past a 91 or 95, whatever it was, you had your tiers on what dudes could do and what they couldn't do. So the way I understand it, I was told that the bug was allowing everybody to play like the top-notch guy. And that did aid in allowing the defense to be so good at EA Play, because everybody was locking it up, right? However, that still didn't have anything to do with how guys were actually playing their assignment. You understand what I'm saying? Like, things were being covered. Purple zones were working, quarter flats, hard. The functionality of the coverage was working the way it should. The bug should have only made people stronger than they were supposed to. It would be like taking, like I said, just imagine everybody was playing at the highest tier across the board. That really was the only bug that I was aware of. Right? And just like NYKia just said, only thing that really did was impacted how well they played it. But it had nothing to do with the fundamentals and the tactics and the design of the coverage, etc., etc. All of that got ripped once the game launched. You try to fix one thing or remove one thing, you break something else. So I say all that to say this, man. What cannot happen going into 20? You do not mess with this game. I'm not saying the beta was perfect. Of course it's not going to be, but that beta felt very good. That was a very solid state of Madden 20 to my knowledge, because again, I didn't go to Madden this year. Down to EA. I didn't go for whatever reason. I didn't get the the invitation. And it is what it is. I'm not tripping about that, but I didn't go down to Tiburon this year. So I don't have these, before launch type of opinions like I had all the previous years, because I only played the beta. Was not at EA Play and nothing like that. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be at a capture event, because obviously that's probably has taken place already. My guess would be this probably happened this week, maybe last week. I don't know this to be true, but think about it. If you're going to be able to play this game on EA Access, I believe July 25th, as soon as then, because I saw somewhere where now it says 5 days before, then obviously if you're going to do any type of capture and get early look at the game, it would have to be now, during this week or last week, something like that, because we're getting very close. I didn't get an invite to that, so I have no idea. But I can say from my experience with that beta, I was like, okay, everything that you guys are advertising, I'm seeing. Oh, whoa, significantly reduced the warping. Now y'all know that was my biggest beef with Madden. And believe you me, when you play the game, you're going to notice that right away. Still there from time to time. It's still some animations that you'll see trigger. But you better believe, yeah, you're going to notice a difference. And I'm just talking about the guys who play the game. Let me preference it with that. I'm just talking about those of you who actually play Madden. I'm not talking about the people who don't play the game and they just come back and every time they say every year it's the same. I'm not talking about that crowd. I'm talking about most of you guys that are here tonight. The majority of you guys that are listening to us run our mouths right now live, most of you guys I can say are Madden players. You either play it for a little while, put it down, you rent it every year, play it extensively, put it down, you play it on EA Access, put it down. Some of you play it all year. So you guys like that, y'all will definitely know. Y'all will definitely know how different the game is playing from Madden 19. Ask NYKia. He's right in here. And y'all know we can trust Kia. I'm going to put Kia on the spot for a quick second. I'm sure he doesn't mind. I trust a whole lot of people. But I'm just going to use NYKia. And I'm talking about as far as trusting their opinion. There's a whole lot of people I can trust their opinion. But I'm going to put Kia on the spot because he's in the chat. Y'all know daggone well Kia's going to give us the truth. Even if you don't always want to hear what I got to say, or Smitty, or anybody like that, anybody affiliated with EA, quote unquote, trust and believe NYKia going to give you the skinny. He going to tell you what he likes. He's going to tell you what they need to work on. He's going to tell you what's busted. He's going to show you the coverage. He's going to break down how cover 2, cover 3, cover 4, match, palms, quarters. He's going to show you how all of that's supposed to work. Cover 6, bracket coverage, box coverage, special. He's going to, listen, he's going to tell you all of that. He's going to give you a full breakdown on how this game is performing aesthetically, as far as, not just the cosmetics, but the ins and outs. And he's going to tell you why it's better than Madden 19 if he feels that it's better, and why he thinks it's not as good as a previous Madden if he feels it's not as good. So believe me, when you hear guys like Kia say, nah, yeah, Madden 20, this ain't the same game. It ain't the same game. Okay, will it show elements of the prior game? Of course it will. It's still built on the same structure, but things are changing. At least from a gameplay standpoint. Excuse me, I'm getting tongue tied there. So long as they keep it the way it was from what we experienced in the beta. And here's another thing I wanted to say really quick, guys. That this kind of goes along with the topic, and I see King Asco says, is the O-line blocking better when running off tackle, power, and strong toss plays? I got to be honest with you guys, man, in one regard. I get a lot of questions like that. Whether it's on Twitter, or whether it's in the chat, or, comments on YouTube videos. I have to be all the way honest with you guys, man. I don't have the time to test all of that. I didn't have the time to do that in the beta because I'm not a lab by nature type of guy first. That's not what I do. I play the game and I wait until I see things that look unnatural, look funny, look good, look bad, then I go dissect it. Then I get in the lab once I have the game itself.
Sorry about that. I'm back.
Oh, yeah, no worries. But I don't do none of that stuff, man, in beta time. That's just not the way I test. That's why I said you have to listen to other people like Kia and guys like that, Grafster, these type of guys. And what's my man's name? I'm forgetting his name, man.
DSK,
and you know who I'm talking about. That's another guy, man. Beast Mode.
Yeah.
Go listen to those guys, because those guys, they probably lab more than I do, and they are definitely going to get to it before I get to it. So, a lot of the questions that people ask me, I'm like, man, it's impossible. I didn't have enough time to know how are the penalties. How is this? How is this play? Do they still do this? Do they still do that? I don't know. I didn't have time to do all of that. I'm just being honest with you guys. And you know what? Richie, whatever your name is, he says, stop lying to yourself. The game is. This is all I have to always say to my guys. People who follow me. I don't know if you do or not. What we have to stop doing, just as people. Stop trying to tell people how to feel. Can we do that? I mean, let's just take a side note from just gaming. Have your opinion. That's great. But stop trying to tell people how to feel, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not coming at you directly in that sense. I'm just saying I see too much of that. And it's cool. It's cool to share opinions and all of that. But I don't know. Maybe I just feel like maybe Smitty that we've just matured, man. Like we're older now. I just ain't got time for all of this. I try not to be around negative energy, right? I'm not talking about opinions. I want people to debate and say, nah, I don't really like it because da. Great. But y'all know what I'm talking about. And I'm not saying that about Richie. I'm just saying, y'all know, I'm just so tired of the trolly comments and stuff, man.
See, this is the thing. When you look at the grand scheme of it, from that comment, saying it's the same thing and all that stuff, the reason why the game ends up being the same is because of our peers. And casuals alike and kids. It's not just all kids. The typical excuse is to say it's all kids. You know what I'm saying? And it's all casual players. And there's also the quote-unquote sim adults and the casual adults and the people that say they want realism adults that play the game, and when the game doesn't go the way they want it to, it's time for patches and nerfs, and the game is nullified. Sim, how many times you didn't came back from the studio, especially like when Madden 17 came out, before it came out, went to the studio and everything, came back, man, Smitty, man, let me tell you, man, they got this and they got that, and the way this is and the way that. Is Madden 17 the game that you talked about? No. Does that mean Sim was lying? No. It's because it all got nerfed.
Oh, no, I was lying. That's what they think, Smitty. What do we get from it? That's all I ever want to know. What do I get from it? If y'all can tell me what I get from it, if I actually was lying and pulling your leg, if you really could pinpoint what I get from it and you was correct, I might say, ding, 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 bingo, you're the winner. I just want to know, what do I get from it? And that kind of goes along, Smitty, to what I was. Well, no, go ahead, because I'll follow.
I was just gonna say that. That's the issue with these gameplay situations. Some things that are quote unquote issues, they do address them by trying to innovate the game. And the reason why I say try is because the game keeps getting nerfed. So they can't truly progress. It's like they're literally moonwalking. It's like it appears they're moving forward, but they're actually going back. And the reason why it goes back is because people can't handle it. Just like with Madden 19. I would love to see, I only seen one person actually take ownership and say, you know what, the game actually moved past me. Because he was complaining, which eventually the game got nerfed and got messed up, but he couldn't handle the run game because of the way the RPM was. He couldn't handle it. And you saw guys like me, Sim, Azura, and many other people all on Twitter. Man, the run game's like this. The run game feels like that. The run game is like da-da-da. We're all having no problems running. But he's having all these problems running. And he's one of those Sim guys that be all on EA case. But when it didn't work for him, he had to, instead of him just pointing the blame finger, he had to turn that finger around and point it at himself and say, dang, you know what? Maybe the game just moved past me. Maybe it just evolved to a point where I can't handle it. It's the same thing like the Aaron Rodgers situation.
Oh.
Same thing, no different. Dudes pointing fingers and all that. I mean, just point. All these problems, all these issues, right? No, that's not right. Aaron Rodgers did it. Oh, okay. All right. They're telling you to simply click a button, switch to a guy, and make a play. Nah, you saying I gotta do that, man? Okay. And if this stuff gets nerfed, I'm calling y'all out. Y'all Sim dudes, because there are literal guys, Sim guys that I've been in chats with, and party chats with, and always send up and I mean literally go ham on these guys. Man, these guys don't want to learn, they don't want to adapt, they don't want to adjust, they don't want to. But then this Aaron Rodgers ability, and this is just one ability, mind you, of all these players, and they're going buck wild and crazy on that. You're telling me that my guy's not going to make the play, and I got to switch, and I got to see. When you get pulled out of your comfort zone and it's hurting. See, when you're okay with it and it impacts everybody else in that way, and you're okay with it, it's fine. But when it impacts you and you're pulled out the comfort zone now and you don't want it, oh heck no, man, I can't do it. Ooh, I can't do this. Nah. So that's the whole thing, man. That's it, even in of itself, man. And the one thing I will say real quick, and I'll throw it back to you, Sim.
Mm-hmm.
My man Trav Frankenstein said, legit question, why does it take 20 years to fix a game? Well, I'll say this. None of these games, all these games have issues that span at least 5 years or more in age, old problems. If you look at NBA 2K, and I'm going Source 2K because everybody gives that game props. Sometimes people give it blind props. But that game still doesn't have ball tangibility right. They've been making that game for 20 years. Technically over 20 years. And they still don't have ball tangibility the way they should. If you saw my stream earlier, you saw ball morphing, fuse, and all that stuff. It happened rampantly.
And 14?
Yeah.
I don't miss that.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. In some of our favorite games out here, those same issues persist. And then some. But we still go ahead and play them anyways. We still buy them anyways. It's not giving them passes or anything, but these are problems that still persist no matter what. It's not. So EA gets no pass. Nobody gets a pass. But people gonna keep playing it anyways. So it's gonna take them 20 plus years. All these studios are gonna have something going on in their game or some things going on in their games that are going to be 10 plus years, 5 plus years, 20 plus years, whatever. And either they're being addressed, not fully addressed, whatever. It's still gonna happen. That's just the way it is. And the easier you grasp that concept, it's easier to move. It's easier to understand what it is. And okay, now what do we do from here? And that's it. Just keep going. Simple. It's real. It's really is simple. And the thing is, within those 20 years, are you telling me that you haven't liked Madden in 20 years? Trap. Is that what you're saying? So from Madden 1999 to Madden 19, you're telling me you don't have a personal favorite Madden within that time frame. So Madden 98 and beforehand, everything was good. But beyond that, it's just been nothing but problems and nothing was good. Like that's the question that I would have. See what I'm saying? So, but I mean, yeah, like I said, man, with what's going on with Madden, with what's going on with Madden, and you know these problematic things, folk have to get with understanding how the game is, evolve and adapt. Me, Sim, especially when we had the phone queue back then with Blog Talk and all that stuff, 757, we said this from like Madden 25, Madden 15, and all that stuff. Man, people are going to start playing this game, and the more these guys evolve this game, folk are going to lose their minds. You're going to see folk tripping, turning, going to go turncoat. Oh, this ain't right. This ain't right. Because they're going to start bringing things more authentic to the table. And that literally has happened every single year. I've seen more and more people in the sim community and just in general complain more and more and more and more when they see when football legitimacy happens in game and dudes can't handle the way it's handled, what's happening. But you say you want the challenge, you say you want the game to change, but it's like you want it to change, but you want it to be the exact same, and you can't do it. It can't. That'll never work. That's why Madden, especially during this generation, essentially it feels dang near like the same dang on game, and it shouldn't. That ain't the game. When me, Sim, and AZ, when we go to the studios and stuff and play the game beforehand, it's like it doesn't feel the exact same. But by October, oh yeah, it ends up feeling like Madden 19.2, Madden 18.1 or whatever. That's what it ends up feeling like because folk keep on complaining about it. And what do they end up doing? Their bosses come downstairs, put their hand on that shoulder and say, you gotta roll it back. You gotta ease this down. You gotta smooth the waters out. And I'm sorry, man. So that's all I gotta say on that, man. That's why it's not even about it's not even about age. Yeah. It's not about age, it's not even about maturity. It's about insanity. When you literally see the same thing happen over and over and over again, when we overly feed into it, then we become part of the insane asylum. It's now, that's why, like you said, Sim, when you fall back, yeah, fall straight the heck back. Because it's like, you know what? We've said it. We made the points. And I'll say this last thing real quick, because like what my man VF said online on Twitter earlier about Shop. Shop had a playing online against somebody, ball was snapped over the quarterback's head, flew back 40 yards, and he's like, where's Madden 20 at? VF said that's legit. He said he'd be okay with that happening in the game. Now, me too. Me and Sim, we would love that to happen. But think about that and put it in context with the Aaron Rodgers situation. VF had issues with the Aaron Rodgers situation because you're telling me that a control element is going to be took away. And you're telling me an intangible of Aaron Rodgers is going to overshadow my players in spite of their abilities. Yet, you want to have a situation happen in the game that's out of your control, You're just hitting X. And that center, if he just snaps it, what factor plays into you snapping the ball? That's just a random freak occurrence. See what I'm saying? So when you're saying it's okay for it to happen because it's in football, that's fine. But so is what Aaron Rodgers does. It's in football. And people aren't okay with that because the context of it. You got me doing something that I personally don't want to do. And because of that, I got a problem with it. Okay. That's what evolution is. That's how it's supposed to be. This is a new element that you're not accustomed to. We're trying to make the game different. Adjust. Folk are going to find that out when you see these DNs roaring off the edge.
Oh, my God.
From what we saw when we was playing this game.
Oh,
like
no. The Pro Bowl?
Yeah, the Pro Bowl. Oh, my gosh.
I ain't going to lie to you, though. I'm a little nervous, to be honest, about that being an opening sequence to the masses. Because we already saw how people playing the beta reacted. Yeah. And I'm not going to lie. When I first played it, I said, yo, they said pass rush was real. I ain't know it was this real.
Right.
But I stuck with it. I said, all right, man, it's the Pro Bowl. Maybe they just trying to show us. And then I played regular games. I was like, oh, okay. But I'm telling you, that scares me, man. That onboarding sequence scares me. Because people, all they want to do is complain immediately. And I'm like, dog, just spend some time with it, man. You can't determine things in 5 minutes.
Right.
You just can't.
But you're playing against all-stars, an all-star studded line. And defensively. And they're going to get you. I like that. See, the thing is, though, Sim, what I like about that is I like the trial by fire. Because they're just throwing you to the wolves. And they're like, oh, yeah, go ahead. Put it on all Madden and all that stuff. Go ahead and do that. Go ahead. And get out there, and you're going to feel that rush. You're going to know why these guys are 99 overalls. And you're going to know why these guys, you're going to feel the X factor, feel the superstar ability. You're going to feel all that. I like that because, honestly, I love the fact they're doing a Pro Bowl because they're giving you a brand new experience. That's like playing RPGs. You're used to playing Final Fantasy, and now here's Dark Souls. Two completely different experiences. Oh, I didn't play all RPGs. Play one, I played them all. Oh, okay, yeah. Go ahead. Fire up Dark Souls real quick. Play it like you play Final Fantasy. Go ahead.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you die when you first start 10 times and you pissed off beyond belief, this is the key. They run and complain and you say, oh, well, what'd you do? Oh, okay. Well, this is how our game is built. Practice fields over here. Or if you can't handle it, like I shown with the NHL settings earlier, slide that sucker all the way to the left. Play it on arcade. Put it on rookie. That's where you at.
Oh man.
And stay there. Don't come over to the dark side, you know what I'm saying? And be like, oh well, but I want to hang with them. You can.
Okay.
But you better learn how to play though. You're not gonna say I want my arcade skill to be on all Madden. And I want everybody else to feel that too because I can't handle it. This is the same crap that happened with Backbreaker. Folk couldn't handle it, throwing picks and getting sacked all day. And what ended up happening? Great house patch. Yep. Game never was a dang on.
I don't know why they called it great. Should have been
that's what I'm saying.
Break house patch.
Yeah. So that's the whole. That's it right there. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, it has. It isn't supposed to have all. Well, no. Think about it. How big of a threat is Khalil Mack by himself? And then add 3 or 4 additional threats across that line. And the thing is, they're not playing it like how the Pro Bowl is played now. They're playing it like it's a legit straight up football game. You still shouldn't have all day to throw the ball. That's how it is in the NFL.
And you know what you got to consider too, Smitty, because even I fell victim to it because we all are accustomed to the Madden game that we've been playing, right? Again, Smitty and I haven't gone down to EA, so we just picked up the sticks on the beta and started playing. And I realized, whoa, I can't hold the ball no more like I used to. Like,
Exactly.
it was like Kia said, it's real in the Pro Bowl. But also, when you try to play the game just by muscle memory, you're going to play it like you played 19. So you're going to automatically give up a lot of sacks. Once I realized what was happening, I said, oh, my Lord. Okay, we going in shotgun. We're going to run a couple draws, quick passes, and then I started moving the ball. But guess what? Every time I started to go back into my old ways, sack, pressure, and I was like, okay, I had to adjust to it. So part of it is going to be you having to adjust. The other part is going to be what Smitty just said. These dudes, all four of them on the line, bro.
Yeah.
Von Miller coming off the bench. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, man, I can't do it. So, you'll see. You'll see. For you guys who haven't played it, you'll see what we're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
If they don't change it. Because I know
Right.
it was, I won't say it was a discussion, but let's just say offline and somewhere else where me and Smitty are a part of a discussion group. There were other people saying they're a little concerned about that. So who knows? Maybe they changed that. I don't know. But we'll see, man. But let's see. The only couple of other things I wanted to say about Madden, guys. I'm going to read this comment, man, on a guy that left a comment on the video I posted before the show started. You know, just basically talking about if the Madden community believes in the dev team. And I think that this comment describes Madden to a T and how people approach it. And then I'll give you some thoughts, guys, as far as how I feel about regurgitating the same thing over and over. And then we'll probably be pretty much done after that. But listen to this guy's comment. And I love this, Smitty, because it's not coming from you and me. It's coming from another person just in the community, whether he's a casual guy or whatever. And it just proves to you that sometimes there's speculation and opinions, and sometimes they're just facts. My man says, Madden is in a lose-lose situation no matter what. They are so far behind that no matter what they do, it's not going to be enough. It's not going to be good enough. For example, he says, let's say Madden 20 had Sports Center, they had highlights, Chris Berman, etc. What are people going to say? They're going to say, man, 2K5 had this 14 years ago. People will never be happy because everything Madden will do, it's already been done in other games. No matter what they do, it will always have little to late feel. That is absolutely correct.
Yep.
That is really where Madden is at right now. And it's unfortunate that we are all having to wait for them to progress, but that is the truth. The hard reality is we know just because of the way game development works cycle to cycle. And we can speak about this for any game. The 2Ks, all of that. Is no way that they could turn things around in one single year. Is by natural causes. Let's say now things have changed. I don't know this. Let's just say everything is different now. They're going to focus on this and that and that and that. It's still going to take some years. It's still going to take a few games to get it all in.
Yeah.
Let's talk about franchise. Let's say that somebody in that office said, you know what? We've BS'd our people long enough. And we're going to give them what they want. Where's that daggone list? What's that guy, that Deuce Douglas guy? Give me that list. We're going to put it in everyone's office, and we're going to build that list until we get it all in the game. How long y'all think that's going to take?
It's like 5 years.
See what I'm saying?
5. Yeah.
And that's my point. And it's not an excuse. It's the reality.
Yeah.
Madden has been lackluster for so long. Y'all know we've been saying this. We said this 5 years ago. If you are a person that feel like the game has been trashed for 8 years, how many years do you think it's going to be before you think it's great?
Yeah.
And it sucks because we all want Madden to be our game of choice. Honestly, man, as much as I love playing 2K, and I am a basketball fan, I can't say I'm an enthusiast. You know, I love my Sixers, but I'm not a hardcore basketball guy the way I am football. If Madden right now, if it had anything similar to my league, let's just say Right now, Madden franchise with the improved gameplay this year, it had the equivalent of Head Coach 09. Right now. Don't y'all know I might not play no other game?
Right.
That might be all I do, Smitty. I mean, outside of y'all know I got to get my Battlefield in, you know
Right.
that. But I'm talking about sports games. I would probably only play Madden year in, year out if it was at that level.
Yeah.
That's how bad I want a football product. Or forget Madden. If 2K was right now making a football game and it was the equivalent, it was the virtual equivalent of 2K basketball, bruh, that might be the only game I'm rocking.
That's it.
So, bottom line, what I'm saying is I don't want nothing more than a football game to be my only game. And the reason why I keep pressing the issue with Madden, because it is the only game close enough to us to even resemble any of these changes is Madden. All of these other games that's trying to up and come, it ain't gonna happen, man.
Yeah.
You think Madden is behind? Come on.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah.
So that's the reality. For anybody who ever wanted to know why y'all keep pushing, dog, we ain't got no other choice. What else we got? We either just not play and completely forget football, or we try to make this game better. And then as for that, I'll say my point really quick and then we can move on out of here. I don't want anybody to take this the wrong way, but I just got to say it as real as I can, man. It's not that I'm going to be ignoring it or anything like that, but folks, I'm just not going to keep repeating the same things that we've answered numerous times. And I know some people are new viewers, and trust me, we could tell when it's somebody who hasn't really been around. We can remember usernames and things like that. Of course, I will still chime in with some of those people. But some of the guys who watch almost every video, every stream, they rocking with us every year. We love y'all and appreciate y'all. But I'm not entertaining any more of those back and forths. Why can't they? Why? We have told you guys a million times. Okay? Rex has said it. The video I put it out before this show where I'm, basically commenting on the Twitter conversation between the guy Pooh and Clint. I'm highlighting that. Clint said as much. It's like, I just don't have the energy to keep saying the same thing over and over. You guys keep asking the same question that you know the answer to. It's like you forget it every year. And we can't spell it out no clearer. Okay? And some people, and I won't say names, and he knows who he is, but even in Smitty's chat in our stream today, some people literally sit here, Smitty, and they try to act like the dev's supposed to do more than what the bosses allowed them to do. Where if the boss is cutting their legs off, then they still need to... How? That's all I want to know. Go on your job tomorrow and do anything outside of what your boss would like for you to do and watch what happens. That's all I'm saying. And again, after tonight, man, I'm seriously, I won't answer those questions no more. I will literally just be like, I don't know, man. We'll see what EA will do. I just can't. I just can't keep. And again, I'm not disrespecting nobody or nothing like that. It's just some of you guys know who you are. Some of the people in this chat see the same people asking it. Y'all know who they are. I just can't, man. Yeah, I think it's wasting a lot of time asking all the why can't and you can't and she can and hate, and we already know why they can't. Again, final time saying this. EA Tiburon, I don't know who is fully in charge, but clearly those who govern the money, resources, and marketing and that building are the reasons why we get what we get out of Madden every single year. There are so many times that developers, I hit them up, man, Sim, we couldn't get to it this year. I'm telling y'all the God honest truth from what I know. Now, granted, I'm not a type of person that believes everything. And I'm gonna take a step in the dark side real quick, Smitty, but this is truth. Somebody asked me this question. They say, man, how you know the devs ain't lying to you? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know that. They could very well get Clint, and again, Clint, if you hear this, you know how I feel about you, but Clint could very well be saying that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yo, I don't know. I really don't know. They could very well be lying directly in my face. People have done it. Closer than the devs. People closer to me have lied in my face now. But what I'm saying is, what I've seen with my own eyes and with passionate conversations I've had with some of these guys, and I can confidently say a guy like Scan ain't lying to me. He's not.
Yeah.
A-Dub ain't lying to me. Because we've had realer conversations. Realer. That I can't even tell y'all about. Vic Lugo ain't never lied to me. I know that for a fact. You know what I'm saying? Because we ride in the cars with them. Like, we've had real conversations where we weren't even talking about Madden and EA Sports. Those is real dudes in there. And that's not to say, Smitty, that I don't feel that way about. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I've had different experiences with certain guys in that building that had nothing to do with Madden. On some stuff like, not to go too far, but guys telling me some real life stuff about them that can't get out. You know what I'm saying? Like, they telling me some truth stuff about their life that nobody ain't supposed to know that. That dude ain't telling me no lie. No way.
Yeah.
I could say that about Smitty. Smitty ain't lying to me. We know too much about each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Smitty tells me something, if Smitty was working in there and he told me something, I know daggone well that's the truth. So that's what I'm saying, man. It's like, I just don't got the energy no more to, whatever. Everybody is free to feel how they feel. I'll let you have that. I'll have my opinion, and we can move on to something else. Because I think it's just better that way. It's just the banter back and forth via text. It's just, for what? You know what I'm saying? For what? And let me address this too, Smitty, while I'm on this dark side real quick. Because I just read Chris Castell's comment. And let me just say this. I'm going to address it. People always, and Chris is not doing it, so I'm not referring to you, Chris. But other people routinely leave me comments and tweets and ask me, man, you should be talking to Ryan Moody. And Ryan Moody, listen, man. I've told y'all a long time ago, I do not concern myself with what other people are doing. It just is what it is. All of these guys like that, and I'm not putting him in the box, and I'm not talking about him specifically because I know there's minions that are gonna go back and say, "Hey, Sam said." I know y'all listening, which to me is corny anyway. The minions that are gonna go run and tell him. I don't care about any of that. I don't. I do me. So there's your answer. That's why I don't do all of the collab. I don't need to do all that. I'm too grown for that. I'm too grown to care about who you like that talks about Madden versus how I don't care. I do not care. So just please stop asking me that question. Stop asking me, wow, that ain't what he said. Who? So what?
Right.
Go listen to who you like to listen to. That's all I ask, man. Just stop bothering me with stuff that I am not even a part of. Why don't you never respond to them in Twitter? It should be very obvious. I'm not paying attention. It's just like radio, right? And y'all know I listen to the Breakfast Club a lot. You know, I like Charlamagne the God. I really like the dude. He's a little rough on the edges at times. He's grown over the years, but he kind of reminds me of me. Like, our personalities are very similar in terms of, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but wisdom and being blunt and, you know, saying what you feel and standing behind what you feel. That's what attracted me to him. Like, yo, I like that cat. Right? Some people in New York, and I still got family there, they prefer to listen to Hot 97. I listen to Power 105. You see the theme here, folks? I don't care what Ebro and them are doing over there, and I ain't got no hate to. Again, I have no disdain or hate towards Moody or any of that. I'm just not in that lane. I don't do that no more. That's not my arena. I'm happy for him and what he's doing there. Like, and keep doing that because we need that voice. But I'm gonna do it my way. Feel what I'm saying? I'm doing it my way.
And understand that he loves the game. He enjoys playing it too. Just that little undertone that. Just understand that. So while you have a lot of people that say, "Man, I hate," like a lot of the negative comes, those people love to gravitate toward that and say, "How come you guys aren't doing that and everything else?" And you guys aren't keeping it real because you're not saying it this way. And it's like, well, we don't need to say it that way.
Exactly.
We've talked directly to the devs, and you guys do notice and understand this. You literally, if you really pay attention, you literally will know that everything Ryan Moody says, we either have said or already have said. He literally is doing the same thing we've done.
Yeah.
All he's doing is saying it in a different way.
And we're not disrespecting it.
That's what I'm saying. It's not a diss.
At all.
This is real.
Not at all.
This is real. It's like he's showing displeasure toward Madden. He's just showing it with a lot more vitriol. We're just saying it like, hey man, look, if it's just like when dudes talk mad smack and then they meet them in person. When you see people in person, the whole game changes. You ain't keeping up that same energy you had online. Now all of a sudden you want to talk. Now all of a sudden you want to be rational and be like, man, see, I ain't got beef with you, man. Really, the thing is, but when you online, man, F that, da 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 da. Like you got all that energy, so it's no different. It's just he says, "Oh my gosh, this is blasphemous! I can't believe EA put this out. I don't understand where the devs' minds are at." What we say is, yo, man, this has been a problematic thing in Madden, and it's been going on far too long in Madden, dude. Like they really need to address this.
We'd love to have competition. It's two different approaches.
Yeah.
And just to comment on what my man said, OJ Sims, we're not commenting on, like, again, like I said, because minions, they're here, they're gonna tell. I have no quorum, beef, nothing with Moody at all. Do I conversate with him? No, I don't. And the reason why is because, listen, very short. We've had situations in the past where we're cool 1 minute, the next minute he's talking this, and I ain't got time for that. And even as recent as not too long ago, somebody was like, yo, this is what I'm saying. I don't need to be a part of that. I don't get that. So I just let him do what he do. But I still have no disdain, nothing. I'm happy for him. And if you feel good about doing what you're doing and every now and then you got to throw my name in it, fine. So I'm just trying to address the people who keep asking me, why don't you hook up? This is why. I do not choose to do that. And it doesn't bother me one bit. Y'all give me the news. I don't watch. I'm not subbed. I have no idea. All I'm asking you guys is stop asking me that, please. Please. That's all I'm asking. I'm begging. Let's just do what we do. Let's stop comparing everything. And like I said, his voice is necessary. So minions, go tell him that. Tell him Sim said his voice is necessary. Everybody's approach has to be done, in the way that they do it. Proof of that is the Sim Standard was at one time an 8-man army. Look what happened. Everybody thought they was going to do things the same, and it didn't work out that way.
Mm-hmm.
Then all of a sudden there were 3 guys who were pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Before they did the Sim Standard, and look who remains. Those same 3 guys. And again, it's not to say that we are right. It's just we're like-minded. That's all. That's all it means. That's all it means. So, like I said, I promise y'all, and y'all know that I'm telling the truth, because when the last time y'all heard me even address, I promise y'all will never hear me address any of this ever again. I just need to do it just to move forward, because y'all keep asking me about it. So now y'all know the reason. No, I will not collab. No, I don't prefer to. I have personal reasons why I just don't feel like going down that road. I've been burned down that road before. And I fully respect what he's doing. Have at it. And others. It ain't just him and others that I don't communicate with that do what y'all do. Great. I'll do what I do. Y'all do what y'all do. And hopefully we'll do the do-si-do together when the game gets where it needs to be. There you go.
Yep.
So that's all I got, man. Is there anything? Oh, well, let me see. Is there anything else about Madden itself? Oh yeah.
The ratings with the rookies, because that dropped during we didn't do the show last week.
Oh
and that's
yeah, man. I love it, Smitty.
Oh yeah.
It reminds me of. I mean, matter of fact, I ain't even gonna say FBG, and y'all know those rosters, but Neff is in here.
Oh yeah.
This is what Neff has been trying to create people for all of these years. In case y'all don't know, I'm not gonna give y'all his formula because that's his. He's told me some of it, but this is basically what he's always done, and how much y'all loved his rosters. There you go. EA is finally, guys. Listen, we have been telling him to do this for umpteen years, and we used to get pushback. No, we can't do that. It's too much. Now, to me, that's one of the funniest things ever, Smitty. They have finally caved in on the fact of having lower overalls. How long has it taken? I like to see him go away from him, period, though. I'm not go away, but I would rather it be visually. I'd rather it appear like all pro football. Now that you're introducing these X factors and things like that. So now, and this is just my crazy mind, you're training us now to just look at, oh, what can he do? What's his ability? What's his trait?
Exactly.
You training us to do that. So if you all of a sudden hit it, like APF did, because remember, and Neff would know this, Smitty obviously knows this, we didn't know what them ratings was until we got the hex editor. We had no clue.
Yep.
Just hide them. And that's just a personal preference of mine. Because, I just want it to be where we're just, it automatically creates a better experience, even in franchise, when you're playing with, a 32-man league, because now people are just vying for what they can do, and they're not so stuck on, oh, he's the fast guy, and da-da-da-da-da. It would just make, to me, a better system. Keep building on abilities, have your underneath ratings, things that you obviously got to have, like speed and stuff like that, but put them ratings in the tuck, man. I would love it.
Yeah. I would, and to tack on that, the thing that I loved, like I said, APF is one great example. Another really good example as well is NBA Live. Because, and now not NBA Live console, NBA Live, the crazy thing to say, NBA Live mobile. Because for the ratings that are on the surface that you see, there's a plethora of ratings and tendencies that are all, you don't see them. So when you're like, wow, these players play differently, it's not solely because of those ratings that you see on the surface. There's a lot of intangible and a lot of other elements in terms of ratings that play into why those players are different. And I know it's not the greatest way to tell because it's a mobile game, but at the same time, just the mere fact that part of the DNA makeup of these characters has all these other rating criteria and everything else that is under the hood. I love that. And that's one thing like what we're seeing here with Madden. Yes, it's I love that the overalls are dropped. But excuse me. I'm in agreement with Sim here. Like, I would love to see where not only is it the overalls, but just ratings in general are dropped. And then now you just saying who are the most elite players in this game in Madden this year? It's this guy. Why? Because he's got elite level this, top end that. You know what I mean? Like when NFL 100 basically. When they do that every year, and they do that, you don't see people talking about ratings and stuff like that.
Can you imagine that in franchise?
That's what I'm saying.
Top 100?
Yeah. You can have a top 100 players
Oh, wow.
Like a fantasy kind of thing. Top 100. Who we think are the best players digitally, you know what I mean? Just for
Oh,
fun, but
wow.
at the same time, something like that.
Immersion,
But,
folks. 32-man league, and we have to vote?
oh, so that'd be crazy.
Oh, boy. See, Smitty, you got me thinking, man.
see, but see, just doing something. But when you think about who are the top players in the NFL, and when they talk about them, they ain't talking about 99 this, 87 that, 98 this. They're talking about, man, this guy's an elite rusher. This guy is this. Man, he's a nightmare to deal with when it comes to blah, 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 whoop, whoop. That's what it should be. That's what it should be. And the ratings are under the hood. Now, it would be cool to be like, his X factor is this. Superstar ability, that. Traits are this. And you see no numbers. That's it. So, you do that, now you got a whole nother game. And it's not like people can't handle it. You have to do, once again, you're making the game different. You're pulling people out the comfort zone. And I mean, listen, the whole looking at ratings thing like that, if you think about it, Sim, it's like they're slowly, right now, now let's lower the rating field. Let's lower the span. Daniel Jones is a 62 overall, and he was that top end pick. See, this is how you do it. You introduce that.
That's dope. I like that.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, that's tight. But you introduce
60 something overall.
Yeah.
Oh God.
You introduce that. You play it out. You see how people respond to it. You keep that going for maybe a year or two, whatever. Now you start pulling away from that, making that part of the marketing angle. No, we ain't gonna worry about who's the top overall player or who has the highest rating or who has what rating. Then you make it about skill. You make it about skill trees and skill sets, like Marauder's saying, skill sets, abilities, things like that. Now, when you start doing that, that's how you can take this X Factor stuff and superstar abilities, and you can really take that and truly evolve this game across the whole board to where instead of it being more of a gimmicky kind of thing, I mean, it's a gameplay thing, but it still is a gimmick this year at least. And you make that a prominent staple in terms of how this game is played.
Mm-hmm.
And now you just change the whole Madden culture. Like, you just change how this whole game is looked at and perceived in a much more authentic way across the board now. Because you're looking at skills and abilities and who can do what. And take it from just being superstars and take it all the way down to scrubs even. This guy this guy's got this kind of ability, but he's a bronze level or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, tear it down. So it's like, yeah, they have this ability, but is he somebody I really want to invest in? Is he a guy I want to put on my practice squad and potentially bring him on my team or not? Like, those are NFL decisions. So why not make that stuff matter even more to that point where it's like, do I want to give this guy a shot? It's just like when we would play NCAA football back then. I'll recruit a 1-star wide receiver, but he's 6'5". He runs a 4.7 40, so he ain't fast at all. But he got that size though. Now with the school I have and the coaching staff I got, I could put him in situations and progressively work with him and make him something. That's the same kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Bring that into Madden. Make all of that stuff matter. That's all I'm saying. They could do it, but they got to overcome that fear of, oh man, what are people going to say? Like, no, they're going to buy it anyways. It's just like 2K with the microtransaction, and then I'll throw it back to you, Sim. It's like the microtransaction. People say they're going to boycott. People say they hate 2K for this. They hate 2K for that. 2K has only went up in sales and up in revenue because of the VC and all that stuff. So people complain about servers. Complain about this. Complain. Hate, vitriol all day. And they still come back and buy even more. Let me get 2 copies. Let me get this. Let me get that. So because of that, there should be no fear with Madden. You're the only game on the market. Push that envelope, man. Do things you haven't done before. Make more people feel uncomfortable, but ultimately they'll adjust. Because they'll say, dang, that game's doing what? It's playing like that? All right, I'll go ahead and get it. And they'll be the same people that said, nah, I can't do it. But they will get it. So, go ahead, Sam. I'll throw it back to you, brother.
Yeah, man. I mean, we can end it there. That was great. Great thoughts there and reflection. I think we had a pretty solid show tonight. Those 2 topics carried us through the way, man. So, we got to go ahead and wrap it up here by 10. So, I don't think we have anything else to say, man. It's just, I'll just reiterate one little small thing because I was still reading a comment from, my earlier video, and the guy says, basically franchise is on the back end of things, and I'm going to have to wait years before we get a great franchise mode. Shaking my head, PSA, I'm getting older. And basically, guys, for some of you guys that might not know, let me read that real quick, Smitty. Let me pull up. I got the picture here on my computer. In case you didn't see the tweet, in case you didn't see the video I posted. Basically, I was talking about a conversation between Clint and shout outs to Pooh CYGG on Twitter. I'll read it really quick. But he basically said people no longer ask Madden to be more realistic because the engine won't allow it. But why do they ignore other requests such as halftime shows, weekly wrap-ups, interviews, training camp, the combine, and a whole lot of other things? Clint responded to him and he says, I don't think this is true. There's a lot of folks that still push for more and more authenticity, including me. The reason some of your top priorities haven't been tackled yet is because we are getting the gameplay and base modes as authentic as possible first. And I basically just made a video just reflecting on that, saying once again, a dev is actually telling you what he wants to do as well as what is actually happening. Rex did it. Smitty and I tell y'all what's going on. And the whole, the cold truth, man, is that's just where we are when it comes to Madden. Like the other comment I read earlier. It's a lose-lose situation. Regardless of how well the game is implemented this year, there's still going to be a ton of stuff that we all don't want. Probably the same way, that we all still want. Probably the same way next year. And it sucks. And I'm not asking or telling anybody to wait. It just, sometimes, guys, we have to deal with reality. The reality is this is the state that we're in with Madden. For some of us who've been gaming on Madden since, I'll go back as far as, say, 2000. We were lucky enough to have seen it in the glory years. We had a great time. But we were unlucky to see it take a hit, going over to the 360. They messed it up. They never rebuilt it. Remember this. Until it moved completely to the 360 and they were still making Generation 2 games, the PS2 games, those games were still great.
Yep.
Madden 06 was great on PS2. 07 and I believe 08. I can't remember when they finally cut away.
Yeah, it was 08. Well,
08 or
for
07,
Xbox,
one of those. Yeah.
For Xbox, it was 08.
So, see, that's my point. It crashed in 06. We finally found out they tried to rebuild the engine. It messed up, and they have not added the necessary things back to the game yet. And now we're just in this period where it's the waiting game. It's just the reality, man. There's no smoke blowing up your butt. It's just the reality. There's nothing we can do about it. So, sucks for us, man. And, hey, all we can do is, just hope they continue to improve. As far as franchise, I'm so sick of that. I need to see something next year. But at the end of the day, man, if they take long, it just is what it is. I'll give my feedback yearly, and that's about all I can do. I can't spend a whole lot of energy just, throwing my fists up in the air, and when I know exactly what the issue is. So, that's it, man. We'll go ahead and wrap it there. Hope you guys have a great week and great weekend. Be safe and be blessed. And, we'll probably be back next week as long as there's something to talk about. I'm glad we were able to craft up some topics tonight. I think it turned out into a good one.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, guys, we'll catch y'all next week. Be good And don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe here, and subscribe to Smitty. And definitely check out Smitty, man, weekly. He streams during the day. You know, I haven't been streaming in quite a while. I'll probably get back to it soon, but definitely check it out, man. Some good information there, and he's just laid back gaming. I'm sure you guys will enjoy it. All right, man. We catch y'all later. Oh, Smitty, did you have a schedule or anything you want to tell them real quick?
Yeah, I mean, basically what I do is I just stream Monday through Friday from noon to 5 Eastern time. So that's what I usually go for, noon to 5.
There it is.
Yep.
All right. Catch y'all later, and go check Smitty out tomorrow at noon.
Yep.
All right, man. Y'all be good. Peace.
Peace.